Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty. Let me get. It's been so long since I've done this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, by the way, TikTok just completely just laid a goose egg on me.
Oh,
FYI. Well, I was trying to go live, as per usual, like we tend to do on these, but it was saying that my phone was not optimized properly. So I am live. However, it's literally just showing my back right now. So hopefully everybody comes over here.
sweet.
So
Yeah, it's the I'm on your live over here, and it's not really showing nothing.
yeah, it should be showing my back.
It's just like a loading screen. Hmm.
Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. What up, Preston? If you're still here,
Yeah,
I low
Preston.
key like the Falcons draft. Just wish they got a wide receiver. I need to get caught back up.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, I was just kind of hanging out with the family and stuff. I mean, I was watching on my phone. However, I didn't, wasn't watching super close. I'm trying to see if I can get. Did I
That's all right.
delete the
NFL is
TikTok?
like the worst league of football, anyway. So
So, welcome. By the way, Casper, I guess we're going to try to make this we're going to try to make this a podcast episode. So, welcome to the Little Tangerine Show slash, I don't know, I might have Big Drewski Show going by next time, but we'll
oh,
see. I'm exiting out of
oh,
a bunch of
ooh.
stuff. So, if you can't tell, I don't have a Lions cap, but yeah, I may unofficially be a Lions fan now. So that's happening. Dude, my
Yeah,
God,
it looks to me like you got a Lions hat, buddy. I mean, I
I mean,
good to
yeah,
go as far as
on
I'm concerned.
paper. I need to pull that up too when I get a second here. Put out a poll, a Will Levis related poll. I guess I'm gonna have to just pull this up.
We're not even going to talk about Tennessee Titans today.
Oh yeah, it's bad. I mean, like it's one thing, I'm less heartbroken that they passed up on Hooker, and I'm more heartbroken that they pick Will Levis. It's just I'm like the bad decisions continue, man. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can exit out of Photoshop. There we go. Slowing the old computer down. Oh, Preston, what is up, buddy? I guess that's what you meant by when you said hello, Preston. I just now caught the messages back up there.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a nice guy.
Oh, Preston. But yeah, my Titans really just broke my heart, dude. Like legit. I was so mad. I was so mad. Not, I mean, like I said, it was bad because Hooker was on the board, but it really has more to do with the fact of like, the only thing that could possibly have been any worse is if Hooker went to the Packers. Like I would have. I don't know. I don't condone shooting yourself, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have understood the sentiment at that point.
Well, so I mean, I don't know what we're doing this show, but I mean, Will Levis had an even worse stat than all the other overrated stats we've talked about that came out, this weekend. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Which one?
Uh, the fact that the mother puts mayonnaise in coffee. I mean,
I You said something about that, but I
dude,
thought you were like just
no,
joking.
no, no. There's video of him putting mayonnaise in coffee and drinking it. So,
What a
um,
disgusting
I just don't even
individual.
know why you would pick somebody that makes decisions like that. You know what I'm saying?
I know you said you didn't like watch the draft live. Ed says, "Come on to the Cowboys." Ed's really trying to recruit me to be a Cowboy, and I just don't know if I can bring myself to do
Yeah.
it.
See, the problem about the Cowboys is there's this guy named Papaw. He's a Cowboys fan, and I love to hate on the Cowboys because of him. So I'm sorry, that's just never gonna happen.
Let me see. I need to figure out how to pull this up here. But yeah, I mean, the Cowboys. I can live with the Cowboys far easier than I can the Packers. The Packers are the only team, really, just like period, that I despise.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get this. Let me get this little poll that I had up on Facebook up.
Oh yeah,
So, let me see the best way to show this here.
right there. That's the best way.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Okay, so simply put, um, Will Levis, was it a bad choice, a good choice? As a New Lions fan, I could not possibly care either way. Uh, J Dog says Falcons got Bijan, then traded up for Bergeron, got Zach Harris, Clark Phillips, DeMarco, Helms, and then ended it with Jovan Gwynn. I guess I said that right. Yeah, I don't know what's worse, the fact that, you know, there actually was that many people that may have just switched to the Lions because of the Titans' terrible decision, or the fact that, like, all but 14% of this either said, like, pretty much like he was bad enough to make me switch teams,
Yes.
or he was just a bad choice in general. But, like, dude, as a Titans fan, I mean, I was heartbroken. I really
Yes.
was. I was.
Question up here with the wisdom. Will Levis was a bad choice by the Tennessee Titans.
He
That
really
is
was, dude.
100% agree, brother.
I
That's
mean,
the worst decision I've ever seen made in sports history.
we've talked so much crap about him this year, and what's funny is some of it was just trolling because I thought it was funny, but the other thing is there was a lot of truth behind it because it's like the dude just don't play in big games. What's up, Chiaz? Um, but yeah, dude, he just don't play good in big games like at all. I mean, like
No.
SEC teams, he doesn't play good against. But it's just like my thing is like I'm not saying that he's bad per se. I'm just saying he's overhyped, and the fact that the Titans traded up to get him is just disappointing.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, that's what I didn't understand. That honestly, that was my biggest thing about it. Why in the hell would you trade up to get the most overrated quarterback ever in the NFL draft?
I don't know if I'd say he's the most overrated ever, but he's definitely up there. I mean, my God, he puts
I mean,
you said he puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
yes, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. If y'all hadn't seen the video, listen, I can get on a dadgum Chick-fil-A cauliflower rant if you want me to again, but if you put mayonnaise in your coffee, you're not welcome on this live.
I mean, dude, like I like coffee and I like interesting combinations. I do some really dirty things with peanut butter, but uh, I didn't mean that in any way sexual. I meant with my food combinations, by the way. But yeah, yeah. I was gonna try to not drink anything on this live, but the more we talk about Will Levis, the more disappointed I get.
Yeah.
And I've got a fridge full of meats that I intend on grilling tomorrow, and that's supposed to be a happy day, but I don't know. We're really pushing it.
It's
But
supposed to rain tomorrow, isn't it, buddy?
yeah, I don't care.
Okay. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
That is what I'm talking about. That's
uh,
dedication, son. Dedication.
I heard it's supposed to rain, but I'm like, I don't, well, I almost was going to try to slap it all together today, but we had to go get my wife's tags renewed and the whole 9 yards and all that stuff. And then by the time I got back, I was like, you know what? We're just going to push this off to another day. Let's get back to the comments
Ed,
here. By the
Ed and
way,
J Dog on fire up there.
we don't have a official. We are probably going to turn this into a podcast, but we don't have like an official uh, show notes or anything tonight. So y'all
Ooh,
just
we're just having a good time.
we're
I'm
just
glad to be back. I really missed
yeah,
all
Casper, where
y'all
you
out
been?
there.
There's been a lot of conspiracy theories circling around. Some people thought I kicked you off the show. Some people thought we had a falling out. Some people thought that maybe you're trying to become a women's swimmer. There's a lot of just very
Well, I tried the women's swimmer thing, but it didn't work out. Turns out, and we're not going to get in that. I don't want to get you kicked off the internet, but
them
no.
flotation devices, man. They really help out.
So, guys, really, at the end of the day, me and Big Drew did have a pretty hardcore falling out because he did indeed say that to my face.
Wait, did I?
No, just what I'm talking about. All inside jokes. I said you wouldn't say it to my face. You said it to my face. And
Oh
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
had to
yeah. Oh,
had to beat that ass. And at the end of the day, Big Drew, when I thought I was going to beat his ass, he really beat mine. And it's just, you know,
no. I don't know. so that's one of those inside jokes. It's like I don't know how far I can really get, but like we had this dude that we used to talk to on the reg, and he'd always be like, "I bet you wouldn't say that to my face. I'll beat your ass." And so it's always been an inside joke. And so me and Casper, because we do work together, but we he yelled that at me across the work floor one day, and I was like, he's like, "I bet you won't say it to my face." I don't remember what I said to you to even start it, but you're like, "I
It
bet
was
you won't."
something completely random.
Yeah, but then he's like, "I bet you won't say that to my face." I was like, "I did. I just did. Literally did. I'm talking to you now." And he's like, "I'll beat your ass," and all this stuff. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were
I
just
don't
kidding
either.
around. And then one of our coworkers come up to you, he was like, "Bro, are y'all like, was y'all about to throw down?" And you're like, "No, dude, not at all."
No, guys, I went to a lot of dirt racing. I've been living my dream right here with my man Jonathan Davenport right here, number 49. Been
Watching
out
cars
there,
go in circles, baby.
left turn, left turn, left turn, and if you don't chew Big Red, then well, you know the rest. Um, yeah, it was a great time. So I've been doing a lot of fun stuff, but I have missed being here.
It is
I
fun.
miss my Saturday nights with Big Drewski. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've been holding it down. I went old school, we just went old school, but let me get back into the comments here.
Yeah.
Preston wants to know what teams you like. Casper, J Dog said, oh, wait, hold on. Hendon beat three of the four quarterbacks taken before him. Stetson beat four of the quarterbacks taken ahead
He's
of
also
him,
35.
which, I mean, yeah, he's on AARP, but, just kidding. I thought what's funny about that joke is I think him and Hendon might be the same
Same age.
age, but it's just so funny, dude.
Yeah.
What's funnier too is I was really heavily just trolling some Detroit and Minnesota Vikings fans, and now I might be R1. So I don't know, dude, but yeah, but no, that joke just never freaking gets old because Georgia fans get so worked up, and the whole time I'm like, he's the same age as Hooker.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Preston wants to know what teams you like. I love Stetson. The Rams, great fit. Yeah, and Stetson also got arrested. Ed says, "Oh,
Oh, I forgot about that.
Stetson won't get anywhere considering that happened."
Oh, yeah,
Worked
I
out
forgot
pretty
about
good for
that.
Jalen Carter though, who's also on the Bulldogs.
Oh,
Uh,
Jalen Carter, was he the one that, like, half killed somebody?
well, so
Is that too much? Too
I
much?
don't know how you even want to work. Well, I mean, we are on TikTok, but TikTok's way back there. Eventually people will figure it out because I think I put Casper's back link tree in the bio or something like that. But yeah, no, he was the one. Him and that other dude were like racing in the cars or something. Then the other dude wrecked and killed him and that chick. J Dog also says he is already drafted and sits behind Stafford. He will play in a few games because Stafford is bound to get hurt because he sucks. He's old. His knees gave out. Uh, paraphrase a little bit there, but
Yeah, I mean, I I think did we talk about Stafford on on this show? I don't know. I
not
mean,
much. I really
I
don't
have
have any.
pretty strong opinions about Stafford, and I think he's extremely overrated. He had
Whoa.
he had the 1 year, and that's he's
I
trash other
think
than that.
he's past his prime, and other than Megatron, had zero help the majority of his career. But I definitely think he's past his prime. I don't know if he's overrated, but I think he just, man, when he's in Detroit, I mean, you talk about tough sled. Now that I'm a Lions fan, I've got to back my
Oh, yeah,
team,
I
sir.
can't say anything about Detroit players. Well, listen, he was the old quarterback. We like the new quarterback. We can dog the old one all we want to. I'll tell you right now, Hendon Hooker, I mean, I'd rather watch him play than Matthew Stafford any day. So
J Dog says the Philadelphia Bulldogs are going to be the real deal. Uh,
solid.
Hey, for the record, I got a Stetson Bennett card that's on eBay right now because nobody bought it because he's trash yet. Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson sold immediately, and Hendon Hooker never went up because that's a national treasure. But yeah, I don't. I mean, dude, the Eagles have been cleaning up. The Texans, I was legitimately shocked. Uh,
Yeah.
Draft night.
I mean, I wasn't because I didn't watch it. Um, So I'm definitely qualified to talk about all this stuff. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to bounce them off me, and I'll fire from the hip like I always do. By
Yeah,
God,
I mean we never claim to be experts on anything.
listen,
Actually, if I would have had time, I would have thrown the big Drewski show all over this thing.
you know, I man, I I don't know. Stetson's whatever. I guess he'll be good back there behind Stafford because Stafford, like you said, he's probably about done. I mean, for him to
So
play a whole year seems like a stretch, right?
So I'm asking this question for a friend, and it's completely off topic. But who do you think's going to be a commentator on SEC now first, Stetson or Stafford? Who do you think's going to be an
Man.
analysis assist first?
I
You
mean,
know
it's
it's
gonna be
coming.
Stetson because I think Stafford will actually do the NFL thing. I think that he has the brain to do the NFL talk, so I don't
Romo
think he'll be on
2.0.
SEC. Yeah, I actually kinda do. I've thought that for a long time, even back when he was with your beloved Lions.
Yeah, because I'm a fan now. I had to pick the bluest shirt that I had,
Yeah,
even to, you know,
yeah.
you know, it
I'm
be
surprised
like
the
that
the
sometimes. So
Rams didn't go for, Will Levis. They like those white boys like that, so
yeah, I mean, I had heard that under the radar that they were looking at him. Preston says Anthony Richardson has potential with the Colts. Bijan to be offensive rookie of the year. There's a lot of people that was upset um, that the Lions took Jameer Gibbs. But I mean,
yeah,
honestly, dude, I thought he was pretty good. But did you see where they traded Swift?
yeah.
Swift is
For like
out
a
on the
7th
Eagles
round
now.
pick and somebody for next year or something.
The Eagles are going to be freaking stacked
That's
this year,
that was
dude.
what I was thinking when I mean, I really obviously I didn't watch much of the draft. I kept up with it kinda the first round, and I haven't really cared much since, Hooker went, but, what I was seeing is that the old the old Eagles, I mean, we are coming for the ship this year, right? Like, where's the ring at?
I mean, I think that's what they're going for. I mean, so the Philadelphia Eagles also picked up in the third round, the second and third picks. I mean, they were pretty active, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just kind of scrolling down through here. By the way, the Vols had a pretty big third round.
big 3rd round, they all went, man. Like, was it
Hyatt,
5?
Cedric Tillman, Byron Young, Hooker, they
Yeah,
all went. Yeah, I'm scrolling down through here now.
yeah. See what the Eagles got, man. I mean, I was actually talking to my buddy earlier when he was over here before we went to that wedding, and I was like, "Dude, I mean, I the Eagles might be my like, if I had to put money on a team today, it might be the Eagles."
Dude, the Eagles are freaking ridiculous. I wonder
It's
if
still
there's
gonna
a
be hard for
way.
them to beat Kansas City, though. I mean, I don't care
Mm.
who they drafted. You still got Lord Andy out there.
So I'm gonna pull up and look at just the Eagles specifically. But the Eagles did pretty good. I thought Detroit did decent. The Texans was kind of killing it. Where's that coming from? Oh, never
What?
mind. That's on this
Oh, if
this.
you hear it from me, it's probably race cars. So
There's
I,
some
but I
kind
thought
of
I think I got them all
ad
muted.
somewhere that popped up in my ears.
Mm,
There's no way to mute it.
that's what happens.
So they went Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith first round. Um, third round, they took Tyler Steen, offensive tackle, Sidney Brown, defensive back. They took Ringo from Georgia, the
Yeah,
cornerback.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, yeah, dude, they're loading up on defense, man. But I mean, I haven't really paid attention to what the Chiefs have done. Let me look here real quick.
They
See who
didn't need nothing. They're already greatness. What do they need? They have
they
Patrick
took
Mahomes.
a defensive end in the first round. Rasheed Rice, who's a wide receiver, second round. Wanya Morris, offensive tackle, cornerback, defensive end, defensive tackle, cornerback. Kansas City didn't really do anything. They kind of played it conservative, I guess you'd say, but I don't know, dude. I mean, as far as who did better in the draft, it's definitely the Eagles. I mean, I don't know what Kansas City's done in the offseason, but
Yeah, they didn't need to do much, man. I mean, remember they already had the worst receiving core. I mean, don't you remember all those trash receivers they have?
Juju.
Yeah,
You're
all that
talking about
trash.
the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs and their trash receivers.
Oh
Remember?
yeah, they're
Yeah,
trash.
yeah,
I did see where Antonio Brown's talking about coming back to play with the
yeah. What
Ravens.
the hell is that? Why would he come back? I mean,
I mean, he
seriously.
wants to play with the GOAT, highest paid quarterback in the
Oh God,
NFL,
don't get
best
me
ever
started on that.
play.
Somebody need to tell Lamar Jackson to put his butt on the bench and sit on the sideline and just.
I was really hoping that they would relive that scene from Mr.
I
D, but
know.
it just didn't happen.
You know that I went back and watched that when you told me about it, and like that's 100% what needed to happen in that case, since I'd never
Oh
seen that
yeah.
movie before.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that was back in the homeschooling days.
yeah,
Swift to Philly Bulldogs. UGA had a big day 3. Steelers killed it. I was so annoyed with watching the draft. Some of the people who were on there in Kansas City were nonstop talking about the Chiefs. Bunch of homers.
Mike
Small
Tomlin,
Drewski Luke says we got Bryce Young. I forgot. Wait, who drafted Bryce Young again?
Panthers,
Panthers.
Panthers.
Ugh, Panthers. The Panthers.
AB is not going to Atlanta. Atlanta's not going to play games with a thug like Antonio Brown. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, honestly though, wouldn't Atlanta be a great spot for him though?
What? So he can never win anything?
Well, I
Sure.
mean,
I mean,
he's about half cracked from that hit he took or whatever, anyways. But I mean,
which hit
you
the
know,
one on the
can't you? I
ball?
mean, can you not see him
Drag
like
pipe.
driving a Lambo around, like just Atlanta running over stuff? Like,
Going to Magic City every night.
yeah, like I mean, he
Yeah,
literally could be driving around Atlanta, reliving Vice City greatest hits off of Grand Theft Auto. I know you probably wasn't allowed to play that when you were younger, but like I could totally see him just peeling down through Atlanta, throwing hookers out the back, just
yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Also, if you want to do that mid-game quit again, dude, I think they've got couches on the front row up there at that new stadium at Mercedes-Benz. He could probably
Ooh,
just throw his jersey off, kick back on the couch,
yeah, yeah, he could do that.
hang out with the fans.
Falcons to win the division. Luke says, "Where is Casper?" You're looking at him, buddy.
I'm right here, Luke
Casper
from
might have
Bama.
been gone for so long that you don't
Nobody knows what I look like.
you may
I
not
haven't
have ever.
shaved in a week.
I
I'm
was gonna
sorry.
say he, he he's
You hadn't shaved in 3 years.
trying to grow that facial hair out. I told him, I was like, "Don't shave,
Yeah,
don't shave."
I'm gonna give it a go. We'll see what happens.
Preston says, "Great, it's his off of GTA." I heard they're
Yeah.
coming out with a new Grand Theft
Well,
Auto.
I mean, he's saying that's Antonio Brown's life, and I'd say it's pretty accurate. I mean,
I mean, Antonio Brown is like living the type of life that I feel like if you took AI,
yeah,
artificial intelligence, and you just like said, I want you to listen to like every rap song and like commercials for Henny and like, I don't know, like, and just basically said, sim this and combine it. But
yeah,
he's living his best life, dude. I got
yeah.
no issues with it. I like the I mean, my, by default,
Personality is good. That's
growing up,
publicity.
by default, my favorite, basketball player was always Michael Jordan, but like my straight number 2 is Dennis Rodman. I like the crazies. Bring him
Yep,
on.
yep. Dennis Rodman, he really gets me going in the morning.
Dennis Rodman. So, you're not grilling this weekend, I'm guessing?
Me?
Oh, Casper. Yeah, you're not grilling in the rain.
I'll probably put something on the grill tomorrow. You know.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I splurged. It's funny. I didn't want to get brisket because I didn't want to blow a bunch of money. And then I think we
Yeah,
spent like $300 today just on random stuff. But like, I
yeah.
got country ham.
Oh yeah. Was it
With,
thick?
uh,
You want to
I
have
feel,
that debate on
I
the
feel
show today?
I guess we technically could. I don't know where everybody stands right now on what the thickness in which that they think country ham is, but it was probably like, I don't know, like maybe that thick. I mean, it wasn't super thick, but it wasn't
Thicker than
like,
a slice of bologna or no?
you said thicker than a slice of it's probably
Yes or no?
slightly bigger, yeah.
Okay. Well,
But I got me some ham. The lady wants she got shrimp. which
Oh,
she's gonna season it. I'm just gonna throw it on there. I told her I
fair,
was like, I don't usually cook shrimp, but
fair
got a
trade.
big old steak, which
Oh,
apparently those can be difficult to cook from time to time.
yeah. Well, no, they're really not. You just can't leave it on the charcoal and walk away, so you
Why
can go
not?
watch some homo porn on Netflix.
That was yeah. What's the? I don't even. What's that show?
Designated survivor.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Listen, I'm pretty sure that all of our wonderful watchers and listeners, they're probably smarter than anybody that would buy a thing called a Chubsy and use Matchlight charcoal. So
yeah. I mean, if you buy Matchlight charcoal, you're gonna burn a steak at some point. Like it's only a matter of time,
yeah.
right? I mean,
Mhm.
statistically. But yeah, no, I got a steak. I don't even remember what type. I think it was like a sirloin.
Mhm.
And then I ended up going with the ribs. Like I said,
Oh
I
yeah,
was debating on doing brisket, but I was like,
nah,
nah,
ribs would be good.
let me save some money, and then proceeded to whatever. But
I at one point this morning at like about 9:30, I almost went to the grocery store and picked up a pork butt, and I didn't do it. And I kind of wish I would have. I hadn't made any in a while, but it's coming soon.
J Dog says, I want Bryce Ford Wheaton to be a Falcon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do like some I don't know, mostly Cajun season. I did get some Kaneka. Did I say that right?
Oh yes.
Kaneka.
Yep. That's what
Can't
it
go
says.
wrong with some Kaneka sausage, dude.
No, you cannot. You cannot. If you never had it, you wouldn't know. But if you've had it, you would know, and you will never eat anything else again.
And then we're gonna grill some corn,
All right.
veggies,
You got it soaking
and
yet?
what the corn? No, I soak them for about 2-3 hours before I throw them on the
Oh,
grill, so we're still good there. But
fair enough. I'm gonna lean back if that's okay with everybody. I'm gonna get comfortable up in here.
I as long as long as nothing pops up and sees me. Hated Vol fans on. He says, I'm back, biznitches.
Ooh,
How long
my
did you sit on
man.
TikTok, hated
Oh,
Vol fan, before you figured out that I just wasn't involved with it?
I wonder if he misses me. The
Oh,
hated
he
ball
missed you.
fan miss me.
He asked you. He asked about you.
Oh, okay. He better have.
Yeah, he missed you.
I
Oh,
missed him too.
oh, Casper. Me and him, we got in a knockout, drag out fight about the thickness of country ham, and our friendship was never the same. So okay, we can hash it out. It's whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I was under the impression. Now, for the record, country ham. Okay, is basically yes. He says he definitely missed you. Titans got my boy Karis Jackson. I used to be a Titans fan. Now I'm a Lions fan. Clearly, from my
Yep.
state of the art gear. But so ham, country ham is apparently just cured in salt. Like that's, I guess the
There's no
equivalent of
sugar involved in country ham. Yes.
yeah. They just cured in salt. But I was always under the impression that country ham was like thick because that was how I'd always had it. And then Casper was like, "No, man, it's thin." I'm like, I always had it thick. And he's like, well, I always had it thin. And then we just proceeded to have a heated discussion about it for a while.
And we punched each other in the head, and then I missed the show for about 2 months.
Yeah. And then, I just prank called him at random points in throughout the night. And, I sent,
Yeah.
one legged hookers over to his house and just, it was a whole thing. But I don't know. I mean,
They never made it.
I'd be curious to know, what everybody else's thoughts are though on country ham. Is it thick? Is it thin? I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
Lions got to go. Adrian Martinez, quarterback from Kansas State. I don't know if
The
I'd say.
goat.
I don't know if I'd say the
Whoa,
goat.
brother. We don't overuse the GOAT terminology on this show because it's been abused by people like Aaron Rodgers fans. So we just don't believe in using that terminology unless you mean it. So
This is true. Aaron Rodgers fans are. I mean, I know some people that's pretty pumped up, thinking that he's gonna turn the Jets around.
yeah, turn the Jets around so they can lose by even more this. I mean, didn't the Jets win some games last year?
They it depends on who you ask. Some people said they overperformed. Some people thought they underperformed. But I mean, they were decent.
And you shut your mouth about your thick cut country ham. I will drive over there and I will beat your ass.
Now, I have been told I'm not country though, so maybe I don't actually know what country ham is. Which,
Woo! Boys, I
me,
might pass out. Oh, that's not good.
yeah, now that is part of it. Casper was sick for a little bit as
Oh my
well,
gosh.
guys.
Boys, I thought I was gonna
He,
die
he
on
got a
Monday.
case of gonorrhea herpes and just had to really.
Yeah, that was one.
He's down for the count for a hot minute there, but
Yeah.
you know, but yeah. So Hated Balls fan says his has always been thick. He's likes that thick country ham.
Jets won 7 games with 4 QBs. That's a good stat that you have in your head. I appreciate that.
Dude, I mean,
How many
if you
games
can
is Rodgers gonna miss for the Jets? Anybody want to talk about that?
miss as in like fake injuries
Fake
or
injuries. He goes crazy and just says, "Screw it, I'm not playing." He goes like all LeBron on him. Like what? What?
he's probably not going to show up to training camp. He's not going to. I mean, he'll probably sit out preseason, most of it, I would imagine. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, I don't know. I've always had mine
Something
thick
to think about.
cut.
Yeah.
I've never had some at home. I've always had mine out to eat, and it's always been thick cut. Never had any thin cut.
I'm ignoring you all. All right. I got a race on right now, Drew, and I just want to go ahead and let everybody know that if Ryan Unzicker wins this race, I will be purchasing a T-shirt tonight.
With his name on it?
Yes, this race car. He has a nice looking race car. It's orange and black and gray.
Well, if it's orange, baby, I'm in.
Yeah, it really gets me going. But,
I did win a little bit of money the other night when CJ Stroud was picked second.
yeah, the second most overrated quarterback in the draft this year.
Hey, I don't need him to do good in the pros. I just needed him to get drafted,
I mean,
baby.
in all reality, what do you think about that? So, I felt like I really felt like Bryce Young for the Panthers was a really good pickup for the Panthers. I thought
Yeah,
Will Anderson was a really good pickup for the Texans. I
yeah.
just, I, the
I mean, the Texans were going to. They were gonna get a quarterback. It was just a matter of who was on the
yeah.
board, I guess.
Well, I guess like my thing is, and I was curious if you thought this as well. Just the quarterback class, and no disrespect to anybody, but the quarterback class just wasn't that strong. And I think that's why Levis didn't go in the first round. And like I think by not having a bunch of them that everybody wants, it's like we can just let them go later, because it doesn't as long as we get one, it doesn't matter. When you do your fantasy draft and you're like, I mean, I gotta have a quarterback, but it really doesn't matter which one. And I think it's
Yeah,
kind of the same thing. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think there's definitely some. I mean, so like I talk, smack about the Titans picking up Will Levis, but in theory, according to the draft class, they did kind of get a steal as far as the quote unquote value for him, street
Yeah.
value for him. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of just like, well, we really need a quarterback, so let's, honestly, I think with this group here, I think it's kind of like they're sort of just like, well, we're just going to roll the dice and see how he does,
Yeah.
like
I mean, I guess and I'm not trying to be too I like Tennessee and I like hookerish, but I mean, honestly, just from a marketing standpoint, for them to take Levis over Hooker, I mean, there's always been this disconnect in Knoxville with the Titans, and you know what I'm talking about. Like people in East Tennessee don't care about the Titans; they just don't. And it's
most of
weird
them don't.
because it's really not that far away. In all reality, it's not that far to be a fan. It's 2 hours, right? It's in our state.
Well, so it is weird. Like, so you got a lot of people. A lot of younger people tend to be Titans fans, but like they moved here in like '97, so like you had a lot of old guys that were like already Steelers or Cowboys or
Yeah,
whatever fans, and so they just associated them as Houston Oilers or whatever. But a lot of the newer people tend to like the Titans, like or the younger people. I mean, but yeah, it is a little weird. It's funny. Like I think most people around here are either like Packers, Steelers, or
Falcons,
um,
maybe.
Falcons or Cowboys
Panthers.
fans or
Yeah,
something.
it's kind of even spread, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like they had a real opportunity to try to connect with the state, if nothing else, to do that and sell some jerseys. I felt like that would have been a good business decision for the Titans. Um,
Yeah.
and if they would have took Levis because Hooker was gone, I don't think we'd be like, well, they took him, it's whatever. But
Yeah, I think part of it was the fact that Hooker was still sitting there, and I'm sitting there like, okay. I mean, like you said, from the marketability standpoint, like even if you just sold some jerseys,
yeah,
and just was like, hey, we're just gonna sell a couple jerseys with this and make it a thing. It's like,
yeah,
but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but yeah, for me, I was more disappointed that they took Levis at all. But you're probably right. If Hooker was off the board, I would have probably been more like, okay.
I
But
mean,
I mean, I'm sitting there like, and this pains me to say, but you got Hooker, you got Stetson Bennett sitting there. I would have
yeah,
rather them took Stetson
yeah, hundred
over
percent,
Will Levis.
100%.
At least you can look at Stetson and be like, well, at least he wins ball games. Like,
Yeah,
sheesh.
yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Just because Hooker. The other thing, we got drafted in Detroit. That doesn't mean that they were going to stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that's another real possibility. That we're not there long. But I don't know, man. I'm just curious to see what happens with the Titans and Levis. You
J
know,
Dog says, I feel like Rogers plays preseason to get his chemistry with his playmakers. Well, it didn't stop him from skipping
yeah.
training
So
camp
I was gonna
with a
say,
bunch
so
of
J Dog,
rooks.
I think that's a great idea, and I agree. The problem is Aaron Rodgers is a little pony bitch, and he doesn't do that kind of thing. I mean, that's why he was so bad. I mean, what Christian Watson? It took him. Was it Game 7?
So, yeah, it was like, I mean, we got a, Packers person we
Yeah,
could ask.
or
But yeah, it's
Wackoff
probably like
buddy over there, but I'm pretty sure it was
fifth
Game
to
7.
seventh week or something.
Yeah, like him and Christian Robinson Watson finally got it going. It's like if he would just go to training camp. I mean, and we were talking about Patrick Mahomes. I was making the jokes earlier about the Chiefs' trash receiving core. Patrick Mahomes took all the boys to Texas for a week and worked
Hmm.
out together and hung out together and got it dialed in. And what did they do? Right here.
Hmm.
What'd they do? Yeah. Okay. All right. Just saying. But so I mean, super. I mean, I agree that's what he should do. It's just I don't think Aaron Rodgers has it in him to like do the right thing.
J Dog also says, only reason I didn't like the Bijan pick was because Carter was on the board. Hated Vols fan says, I just want to know who was selected to pick people for the Titans in the draft. Yeah, you ain't wrong there.
Yeah.
Levis almost went first round. Titans tried to trade back into the first, but no takers. J Dog says, yeah, I heard about that. I heard they were trying to trade back in. I was hoping they were going to trade back in to try to get Hooker, but oh, no such luck. But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I was hoping Hooker would go to the Titans, the Saints. I'm cool with the Lions. I think a couple people, T. Fitty and a couple people we know, was upset that he went to the Lions. But I'm like, I don't have an issue with him going to the Lions. I have more of an issue of Will Levis going to the Titans. But
Yeah. I mean, so the Lions, they did that thing last year where they kind of pulled it together for that 8 or 9 games in a row or whatever, and it seemed like they had a lot of leadership on that team, and maybe they're getting it pointed in the right direction. So, I mean, and I don't have anything against the Lions. Do you?
no, I really don't.
I
I mean,
mean,
technically, the Lions actually is my second team because that's my wife's grandfather's team,
they
but he's
have
from
nice
Detroit.
uniforms. I mean, they're
I
blue
mean,
and
if
silver,
I wanted to
black.
switch from Titans to another team that's just going to break my heart, underwhelm me all the time, then it would be the Lions. You know,
Oh,
might as well
this?
be.
What is this nonsense?
I want to offer a promote. I'm not even going to read that.
Yeah, please don't. Just send them out of here. Um,
Bye 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 bye. You'll
Native Vols
never.
fan said he was so shocked no Vols went earlier in the second. I agree, man. I was right there with you. I couldn't believe Tillman and Hyatt made it as long as they did.
So now there was some people that hit me up on the socials that was like, the Vols are getting dicked over. What's going on? No, that's what's going on. We're getting hated on. Like, so, I mean, for the record, like, y'all just got to remember that, the world thinks the Tennessee Vols offense is a gimmicky offense. Like, they don't think that it's a legitimate offense. Like, they look at the Vols like Chip Kelly back at Oregon, as just a big gimmick. They think that Hyatt's, route running is underdeveloped and all this stuff. So I'm not saying I agree with it, disagree with it, whatever, but but that's what the world just thinks, that the Vols is a gimmicky offense. And so
Yeah.
whether or not they actually are, only time will tell. I mean,
Right. I agree
they've
with that.
they've got to either prove that, like, so Hooker and Hyatt and Tillman, they all have to go to the NFL and do really good, or at least decent, and prove that it's not. If they don't, then everybody's going to say, yeah, I mean, they're good in college, but they're not going to translate to the NFL or whatever. But it is surprising to me that you've got at one point Heisman frontrunner and the number one quote unquote wide receiver as far as the awards go in America, and they're sitting there at second round still waiting to get picked.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, so I'm just curious what you think if we go out next year and have a good year, and if those guys go out and perform. It's kind of like our draft stock's been so low for so long. It takes time to build it. I mean, Alabama didn't go to getting 44, first round picks in 1 year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to be proven and that you can handle the NFL.
Yeah.
Because, like you're talking about the whole gimmick offense thing, that was exactly what we were talking about earlier today. Me and my buddy that was over here were, and I really don't think it's a gimmicky offense, but obviously that's because I like it. So, I mean, I can admit that.
Yeah.
But we'll see
Oh,
how it translates.
Gray says, "Let's go Detroit Lions." Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess. Were you Detroit before, or are you just like, are you
Did you have?
switching over because of a Hooker
Yeah.
like
Did you have to
everybody
duct
else?
tape a lines to your hat?
Yeah, literally. I guess I'm gonna have to hit the old fanatics.com.
Yeah, you better get on it, man. What was it? Oh, you were talking. Okay, all right. So remember how I sent that message in our little group about how you were had a Lion shirt?
Yeah, yeah. Because in my head I was like, I don't know
It's
why.
because we talked about you getting one for that last game when they played the Packers.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
because the
for our
Packers are.
Packers whack off buddy,
Yeah,
and
just to troll him.
that's what that came from. So
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I was
yeah,
like, when you said that, I was like, I mean, I got a random Bengals shirt, but
yeah, because we looked it up on Fanatics or something for you to get one.
yeah,
Just
because I was gonna like try to overnight or
yes,
something just
yeah,
to take a picture of it to troll him.
yes, yep, that's the one.
Bryce Young was the first number one pick or overall pick from Bama since merger. Interesting. I would have thought. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember where Derrick Henry and some of them went, but that is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, regardless whether number one or not, Alabama. I mean, I saw the stat they had 44 since Saban has been at Alabama. I think I sent this to you earlier today. Alabama has had 44 first round draft picks and 27 losses since Nick Saban went to Alabama to be head coach.
That's crazy.
Put that in your juice box and sell
Who
on it.
was it we were trying to describe to how ridiculous that was? Was that I can't. I don't even have a nickname, but was that carpet cleaning extraordinaire that we were talking to that day? We were trying to explain how
Baby
crazy
daddy.
that was. It was somebody we were trying to
Maybe
explain. Like, dude, you don't
it might
understand.
have been the Packers whack off because he doesn't know anything about college to understand. I kind of think that's who it was.
I feel like he knows enough about football to understand like how you know
Maybe.
how many wins that is.
I don't know because he was trying to tell us that Jordan Love had better career stats than like 90% of the SEC quarterbacks. Like that
That was
matters.
so bad because he was trying to argue with me because I was trying to explain to him why Jordan Love is a bum, and
Yeah.
he just was like, no, he's gonna be the GOAT because he's playing. I'm like, no, okay, all right. And then, but then it was like, as I was trying to argue with him, I'm like, I can't even argue with you because you don't watch college football. Like,
Right.
there's no like way for me to like explain. I don't know. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
bad.
I think that was where that came from, kinda, but I don't know. I mean, I thought Bryce Young being a first pick, given the performance of the current Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL, and Tua in Miami, and obviously Jalen Hurts at Philadelphia, I would take a quarterback from Alabama if there was one available that played good, wouldn't you?
I mean, but dude, my thing, like, I mean, Saban alone is enough for you to be willing to roll the dice on them. But like, part of my thing is like, for one, if I'm a GM, which obviously I'm not, if I'm a GM, I want somebody who has played with elite level talent. So
Yeah.
SEC, Big Ten, maybe even the WAC 12, whatever, some
Rocky
other
Mountain West, though, aka Jordan Love.
ACC, which I can't, it's politically incorrect for me to use the nickname I used to have for them anymore. But, I'm taking
What does that mean? You have to explain that to me later.
yeah. But so I want somebody that's played around elite level, and I want somebody that's like won some ball games and not got in trouble. Like, that's really for me the biggest thing. Like, somebody that's like I can sell jerseys and stuff too. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Bryce Young has a I think Bryce Young has a pretty good shot to do good with the Panthers. Problem with the Panthers is they can't ever get all the pieces, man. If they don't give him an offensive line, it's not going to matter. So,
that's part of the reason why. Like, I think with the Bengals, like they've surrounded with Joe Burrow with everything but like an offensive line. You
yeah.
know,
I mean, that's been the problem in Indianapolis since Jeff Saturday left. They hadn't had an offensive line in, what, 10 years now? I mean,
something like that.
so,
MJD said Hayner was next. Burrow made me laugh. Who's MJD?
I don't know.
I'm not
And
good with.
Hayner was I'm assuming you're saying that he was the next Joe Burrow. I don't
I
even
guess
know
that's what.
who we're talking about, but yeah, Joe Burrow has a big. Sorry, trying to
Sling it
clean
over
this
your
up a little
shoulder and
bit. Yeah,
sling it over your
does it
shoulder.
wobble to the flow? Can you tie it
Maurice
in a
Jones
knot?
Drew. Okay.
You tie it in a bow.
Maurice Jones Drew.
Yeah,
But yeah, there wasn't anything really else. I mean, I guess you could give us an update on racing.
I
I
mean,
know
we can
Ed
talk
likes
about
racing.
racing. Chase Elliott's back.
Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott is back. My boy is back. He ran pretty good. We had Talladega. Kyle Busch got a dub.
What did he do to get hurt? He choked on a hot dog or something? Slipped and fell? What did he do?
He
So
choked on a hot dog on his $2 million plane. You shut your mouth. No,
it was
he
something
got hurt
stupid though.
snowboarding.
Snowboarding, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
And then Hendrick had another injury this week, so that's pretty cool.
You were
Alex
telling me
Bowman got
about.
hurt in a sprint car, so he's getting filled in for. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I really tried to get into racing. I did,
yeah,
but
yeah. I mean,
it was like 3 weeks in. I was like, I missed another one. Dang
I know there's not that many NASCAR people here, but like I am very concerned about the state of NASCAR as an entire sport right now, and I have put them on red alert. If anybody would like to listen, they can. But it's scary, and it was. I watched another race today, and it was whatever. But I don't know.
As far as the base vols, I mean, I've tried to keep up best I could.
They're at Mississippi State, or Mississippi State's in town today. I think they played today at 2. Mississippi State was here.
Oh, Casper with the baseball
Yeah,
breakdown.
well,
Look
I
at
was thinking about going today, actually. That's why I know.
they have won 7 straight. The last 3 was against Mississippi State. Next game is the second at home versus Wofford.
Yeah, they should
Um,
be, but
but yeah, no, I mean they started off kind of bad, then they turned it around, then they were underwhelming, and says they're 30-14 overall, 11-10 in the conference. I think they really thought when the shortstop come back, what's his name, Maui. Uh, I can't pronounce his name, but I think when he come back, they thought they was going to get it rolling, which I mean they have in the last 7 games. But my thing with baseball and really basketball is the same. Although I love basketball, I make it a point to watch it more. I'm sure I mean Casper can get you caught up on basketball, but you know. But it's like, man, the season's all fine and good, but it just matters what you do at the very end when you hit playoffs, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Baseball can be the same way, man. If the bats aren't rolling at the end, it doesn't matter. Um,
but like for me, it's just basketball and baseball is very similar. It's all about when you heat up. You get a team that heats up towards the end and they can roll all the way through the tournament. But I mean, baseball and basketball, man, it's like it's all about getting it to the playoffs, making it, and then what you do from there. And I mean, my thing too is I try to not let myself get too excited about Tennessee sports
yeah,
as far as like postseason stuff because I've been around for so long and had so many heartbreaks. It's like I try to not let myself get too heartbroken, but Hated Vols fan says, "Yeah, we swept them."
yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, that was the last loss was to Tennessee Tech, at home on like a Tuesday, and then swept Vandy, played some random team on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and then swept Mississippi State. So got Wofford, and then Georgia next weekend. Looks like
So
Austin P, and then Kentucky, and then that's the last homestand, and then finish out with South Carolina.
yeah, so we dropped 3 L's against Mizzou, dropped 2 L's against LSU, dropped 2 against Florida, 3 against Arkansas, followed by another one Texas Tech. So it's weird. They're much like basketball. They're either hot or cold. It seems like they'll get it
Yeah.
rolling and then just completely die out or whatever. But
So our conference record's pretty bad. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're fifth in our half. I mean, it's not.
11-10, baby.
But I mean, here lately, it looks like it's all wins. So we'll see what happens. Going forward in the
10
tournament.
of the 14 losses are in tournament play,
So
and one of the losses was Grand Canyon, which I mean, I guess supposedly they're supposed to be pretty legit. I don't know. I mean, those of you that have listened to the podcast, that have watched the lives and stuff, I know I've said it thousands of times, but this is really the first year that I've not had to work every single
yeah,
Saturday and Sunday. So I'm just now getting caught up with a lot of stuff. Now, football, I mean, I talk football till I'm blue in the
yeah.
face, by God. But, the other
Aren't you ready
sports,
for some football to be back? By the way,
oh my God, you don't understand how bricked up I am, son. Like,
I'm probably gonna watch some USFL tomorrow.
oh, yeah.
There's a game on right now.
I got legitimately hyped for the orange and white game. Like literally, I rolled over. I'm like, and I think I did a TikTok, which that's how pumped I was about it that I actually did a TikTok because I'm
Yeah,
not that happy with
I
it.
was
But
just mad it wasn't on FanDuel because I really wanted to bet on white.
yeah, but like, but literally, I rolled over. I was like, baby, the Vols are on TV. It's Saturday. It's impossible for us to lose, and I'm going to be grilling some stuff, baby.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
was a good day, and then my car broke down, but it was still a good day.
yeah. You had a rough little stretch there for a minute, buddy. Like I said,
Me,
for those of y'all
yeah.
that don't know, we actually talk in real life too. We're not just internet friends like most of
Yes,
the idiots out here. So
me and Casper are. Well, I mean, for that matter, anybody that I bring on here, I'm usually friends with in real life. I mean, even T. Fitty is a family member. Josh the mechanic, I've known him for years. Casper, me and him are buddies. We literally talk every day. I called him today because I was going to be driving into town. I was like, well, heck, I'll see what he's doing. And then he's like, oh, no, I have a real friend over, like, an actual friend. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
oh, we
Screw
had
you.
Sam and Andy's, by the way, for those of you from Knoxville.
Is that the first time you've had Sam and
No, that's
Andy?
like the third time I went there. I took old Watkins over there, and it's the first time he had it. I actually got a Philly cheesesteak, and it was pretty good.
I've not had really anything bad from there so far. Hated Vols
Yeah.
fan says, yeah, if you don't get hot in the SEC tournament for baseball, you probably aren't going to do anything. Rose Killer says couldn't watch it in reference to the orange and white game. I got so shit faced for the orange and white game. I was hurting the next day. Hated
Who
Vols
would
fan
do that?
says.
You really
He
need to control
messaged.
yourself, son.
See, Hated Vols fan is the fan that I was talking about that's like, hey, it's only $5. Normally it's 50, so let me just drink $45 worth of
Hated Vols
beer.
fan, did you spill any beer on somebody wearing a yellow shirt at the game? Because there's a few of those that I knew that were
I
complaining.
knew
Just
somebody that got
curious.
beer spilled on them too. I bet he did. He
Yeah,
might not
probably
remember
so.
it, but I bet he did.
I'm gonna
Yeah, he
tell him.
messaged me though because I think he said he bumped into Jawan Jennings, which was pretty cool.
Jawan.
Jawan.
It's a tough one, boys, on TV. I was trying to find some sports to turn on. There's nothing on there just to
Yeah,
give y'all
it's
something
a
to talk about.
really just dead, dry period for sports. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, there should be like NHL playoffs. I watched NHL playoffs last night for like a period.
you are desperate.
Yeah,
No, surprisingly, I didn't. He says, lies. You lie. You
yeah.
liar. I'm just kidding.
Nobody's buying it, buddy.
Rose Killer says, thoughts on Hyatt?
Apparently, he's not as fast as we thought he was.
He probably wasn't running full speed. That's
No,
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I agree, 100%. He was sandbagging.
Yeah, he carrying that big old set of nuts he had that he had
Yeah,
to carry the team all year with. Thoughts on Hyatt? I think he's better than where he got drafted, which, like we talked about earlier, everybody thinks that the Tennessee Vols are just gimmicky. I definitely think he should have probably been drafted higher. I mean, and that's not me trying to be a homer, but I mean, you look at some of the wide receivers that went before him, and it's like, you can say Tennessee's gimmicky all you want, but the man had 5 tuds against Bama.
yeah,
I mean, which they were talking about how elite their defense was before we played them, and then all of
yeah.
a sudden they were trash and garbage.
How
Everybody
elite their
could get,
secondary was at that.
yeah, everybody,
The same one
everybody,
that he just stunned on. I mean, he would put a foot in the ground and he was gone.
yeah. Like I remember people specifically tagging me on social media in videos, like, yeah, you see all this space right here that Hyde's got. He ain't gonna have that against Bama. Like, my God, he made space, but either way. But yeah, I mean, the way he diced, a above average defense in LSU, a before the game elite defense against Bama. I mean, I think he's better than he got drafted. But to be honest with you, I think we're better off laying low and being underdogs with our guys.
Yeah, I agree.
First Tennessee first rounder in like 7 years was an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
He could have went first round. I have a question for Drewski and Casper, hated Vols fan. Well, you just shoot your shot. Brian Branch is Hyatt's son. Brian Branch. Hated Vols fan has a question for us.
I'm waiting. This ought to be good. Yeah. Hyatt didn't do much against my dogs, he says. Yeah, well,
The dogs really didn't do as
hey,
well as
listen,
they should have probably done. I mean,
how
14 points at
Drewski,
home.
how pumped are we for that game this year at
Oh, dude,
Neyland?
it's gonna be
I'm already
crazy.
excited.
Like,
I'm
it's
already
gonna be
excited.
crazy. I think Hated Balls fan said he's going. Big Ed says he's going.
I'm
But
thinking
like,
this year we throw the goalposts over the river.
yeah, did you see where? Did you see where the SEC's like, oh yeah, we're gonna put stricter fines on you if you tear the goalpost down, and Tennessee fans are like, we got the money, son. We
Yeah,
don't care.
Peyton was like, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Watkins about the Georgia game. I was like, man, when they put up single game tickets, we just gonna buy them. He's like, why would you do that? And I was like, I mean, we can probably resell them. We can probably
it's
just
gonna be
buy $10,000 worth, resell them.
dude, it's gonna be crazy,
The
and
only
South
thing
Carolina's gonna be rowdy too.
Yeah, the only thing about the Georgia game is it's so late in the year that it like if our year goes bad or their year goes bad, that could really suck the energy out of that game. But
I
uh,
don't think so. Not this year. I think it's still gonna be. We could be 0-8 by the time we get to that game, but they're gonna come out like
yeah, and
they'll be pumped.
so here's the other question: is that gonna be a 7:30 kickoff? You think?
I
See,
don't
this
know.
is. I know we kind of talked about it during the season last year, but this whole no CBS, all this stuff being ESPN, like they're gonna want those big games at 8 o'clock.
I tell you the game that actually scared. Well, let me get into the questions real quick. Bama safety. So for football season, are y'all down to tailgate? And I'll do shrimp and crawfish bowl, buddy. I can't commit to anything. It's
Yeah,
just. I mean, so everybody keeps hitting me. Apparently, according to T Fitty, I'm not a real Vols fan because I don't go to the games and all this stuff. Like, dude, like what I've tried to explain to people, man, is like football Saturdays when I am at home streaming, it's vastly better for me, man. Like I stream during halftime. I stream every Saturday at 9 p.m. usually, which to be honest with you, I've debated on not doing the lives and stuff anyways. But, for me, as far as the tailgating and stuff, like I actually am usually watching the game, taking notes, and all that stuff. So like I can't commit to anything like that.
yeah.
But
So I would say, hey, to Vols fan from Casper, not from Drewski, from Casper. If I'm going to the game, I'll see if I can stop by. Now I can't eat no crawfish and shrimp. I'm allergic to that nonsense. So I
I
would
didn't know
love
you're
to,
allergic to
but I am
crawfish and
allergic,
shrimp.
and I will end up at UT Medical Center,
No,
and
you don't want that.
my wife who works there will probably go ahead and just give me some heart surgery while I'm there, so that
I
I
will
can't eat
say
anymore.
though, if I do go to a game, I would probably tweet out or something,
Yeah,
put out a video and say, "Hey guys, like fourth quarter or something, like, hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna be over at section whatever. If you want to come over and give me a high
yeah.
five or hang
If
out
I
for a minute or
if
whatever."
I
But
get to go and you're gonna be down there, then I would totally try to meet up and at least say hey.
yeah, at least say
At
hey.
least say hey. But
But yeah, like
I don't know how many games I'm gonna be going to this year. Y'all gotta remember I'm gonna have a 1-year-old, so you know.
yeah. Like I said, dude, for me, my thing is just like, dude, the other thing, like,
Listen,
so
Nick
because
Drew's famous, y'all. He's
I've
got to
had
do internet stuff, okay? He's got
I
to.
don't know about that. I wouldn't say that I'm famous. Money's rolling in, but I wouldn't say I'm famous. But it's like, Josh the Mechanic invited me over for a game, and I almost did it because I was like, oh, I'll go over and watch the game, hang out, maybe put him on the live. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, dude, if I get out there and my internet's shoddy or whatever, like, then I'm having to rush back and I'm 45 minutes. I mean, like, I pay a lot of money for this high dollar internet that I got that still craps out on me sometimes. But it's like usually game days, I've got to be around the internet because I'm tweeting and
Yeah,
doing videos, and so for me, I can't commit to anything. But I mean, if I went to a Vols game though, like I said, I would at least bare minimum put a thing out because like I get asked all the time. People are like, "Hey, dude, you going to the Vols game? Let's meet up." And it's like, man, like I'm actually like I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm shy or anything like that, but you
so,
know, I keep to myself a lot.
yeah.
But I would
I'm a
definitely be like, yeah, like if me and Casper went to a game, we would probably want to just go to the game and enjoy it. But I would say we'd probably be like, hey guys, what's up? We're over here in section whatever. Come hang out with us for a minute or something. But
yeah.
we would
I
definitely still
really would
watch.
like to go to a game this year, and honestly, I would really like to go to the Georgia game. Kinda on the list, and the reason is I've just never got to go to Neyland 'cause for those of you that don't know the whole backstory, I'm not from Knoxville, but I live here now, and I've just never really got to go to one of those real lit environments, and I'd really like to,
Yeah,
but,
you went to at least one game this past year, but
yeah, so,
the
uh,
latest one that I ever went to was it was the
Florida?
year we beat Florida at home. I think it was like whatever game it was that we broke the Neyland Stadium attendance
Oh, where
record
there's
in.
107,000 there?
Yeah,
It won
actually, I think
102?
it was 109, I think.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But no, I went to that
Damn.
one. I mean, it's literally like, I mean, it's insane. But yeah, I've tried to explain that to people. Like, dude, you go to like an actual game, it's ridiculous. But if y'all ever go to a game, we got to meet up. Uh, Branch is on our lines now. You're one of the few Tennessee fans I enjoy talking with. Thank you. I appreciate that. We get told we're everybody's favorite Vols fans quite a bit just because we're normal. I wish I knew y'all in real life. I would come over to the house, bring food and chili. I've got tickets for the Bama game already in South Carolina and Georgia. I was at UGA Tennessee game last year, and that place was rocking.
Yeah, we owe them
UGA,
something for that. We really
UGA.
do.
Oh yeah.
Remember that nonsense when they were pumping sound in? Y'all just wait.
Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get it right this year.
What
I
did they
have
call
full
it?
faith in the Tennessee
They
faithful.
called it what was it? Sound gate or what was it?
Yeah, because they said it was like what 135 decibels or
I don't know. I know
whatever it was. It was like
Tennessee
two
was up
more than it
there.
was for the Tennessee Alabama game.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
what they said, and it doesn't make sense because the stadium's not closed in for one, so it just doesn't make sense. But we'll have something special for the old
Give
Bulldogs.
Tennessee credit because they finally made that game interesting again. But like now and again, I'm not talking shit. I'm not stretching. I'm just saying. Okay, take it for what it's worth. But this year, Kirby and the Georgia fan base was at minimum nervous.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now, I personally was like, I don't, we'll see what happens. We got nothing to lose. But like Kirby and the fans and I mean, they were calling out like, everybody do not, like, I was seeing like these pictures of like threads on Reddit and stuff where people were like, don't sell your tickets to a Vols fan if you know they're a Vols fan, like all this crazy stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous, dude.
yeah.
But now one thing going back to what we started to say earlier, and we got off the subject. Going back to the night game thing, I tell you that the one game that actually worries me the most, I'm bringing back what you said this past year.
I know what you're gonna say.
If Kentucky is a night game, that's the one game that I'm the most worried about possibly being a trap game because they've got nothing to lose. It's, Kentucky. And I mean, like we've said, as far as the night games go, you might as well bet the
Yeah,
spread plus whatever it is because SEC night games are just like, I mean, think about it.
bet the
We,
over too while you're at it.
yeah, we beat Bama. South Carolina beat us.
Yeah.
It, I think it was a night game when Bama almost lost to Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Well, so the Bama game wasn't a night game, was it? Was it a night game?
I think
Yeah,
it
no,
started
it wasn't. It was 3:30. It was
was
3:30.
it? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it
I
just
just
ended
remember
at
it was
night. Yeah, it was at 3:30.
it was late when it got over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up just because I'm curious.
But what so the South Carolina game, South Carolina comes out of nowhere and scores like 60 points. So for real, on those SEC night games this year, I'm betting over every time. $20 every time.
I'm just looking to see. I just want to
Because
see what
they
time.
burn. The only reason I remember is we were complaining because CBS burned their night game on like Alabama LSU the week before.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that. Yeah, it was 3:30.
Yeah,
I was thinking. I mean, that game. I just remember it was so late when it got done, dude. I don't
yeah.
remember. Oh, well, it went into overtime.
Well, it
So
went into overtime and we it was 100 and something points. I mean, that's what happened.
between, yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. So
We're gonna break the new decibel record against Georgia. Bama says I was at. I read that one. I said Georgia would win by 10 last year. I mean, my thing was like, so now there was a lot of Georgia fans that was saying like that. Yeah, they were talking a lot of stuff about that game. Georgia came out and they were trying to score. They were gonna try to run it up, but I think it was like they came out, went fourth and out, came back.
We
They
scored
either
twice.
they either fumbled. I think they fumbled on the second or third drive or something, and then it was like
We
I
got it
looked
back like
up.
10 or 14, and Kirby was like off the gas pedal.
Yeah, like yeah, he did
Yeah.
eventually, but yeah, but like I said, I'm just glad we made it at least competitive. But it was still like, even in the last little bit, like at the fourth quarter, I was watching and I was like, dude, this is so bad. It's so terrible. But I still almost feel like maybe we got a shot. But
With our offense, it ain't over till it's over, man. That's just it is what it is. But
Georgia definitely came to play. Kirby was throwing that weird little shift thing at us. We didn't know what to do with that.
yeah, we're
Like
gonna have to be ready for that this year because that's
Kirby,
what everybody we play on the road. Alabama's gonna do that to us in Tuscaloosa
yeah.
this year. Better
I
be
give
ready.
Kirby credit. He showed everybody kind of how to play, because
Yeah,
before that, nobody really knew what to do to stop us. And then South Carolina had Cam Smith, and they had two really good cornerbacks. They just put us in man coverage and said, "Well, we're just gonna lock you up." If
yeah,
South Carolina plays how they did last two games, I am nervous. The South Carolina game is going to be rowdy. That's the revenge game. Georgia, they were supposed to beat us. They were playing us
yeah,
at home. Like most Tennessee fans, like when we lost that one, it was just like, man, that would have been cool. But hey, whatever. The
yeah.
South Carolina one, I got, that was the most hungoverest I've ever been. Like that South Carolina game was bad.
Thankfully, I was on the Polar Express and not watching that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was as upset after the I was as upset after the South Carolina game was as you were when your bracket got busted for the world challenge. Like that was the root of the real reason why Casper disappeared. He just couldn't deal with it because
I mean, no, I did actually. That is true. I actually did have to leave after March Madness because I didn't.
it.
I didn't want
I
to get
think
on here and ruin the show. I was like in such a
your
piss poor
exact
mood.
quote was like, "I'm so pissed that Tennessee beat Duke because they're going to turn around and lose next week, and it's going to be all for nothing." And I could have took my boss's money, and I was like, "You're probably right.
I
You're
was
probably right." And
was
that's exactly what happened.
yeah. I was, and then I went racing, man. I went racing. I wish I was at a race right now. I almost went tonight, Drew. I just want you to know this. I chose to stay home to be on here tonight instead of going to the racetrack. So
Mm.
you're welcome. You're
Was
welcome.
it last week I took off? Because you hit me up as like, "Hey, I'm free," and I was like, so for those of you who don't know, and by the way, I'm looking at the clock here. We'll be probably wrapping up here fairly soon. But for those of you who don't know, I actually I've got a day job, but I do video and graphic design and all kinds of other stuff for people. I show other people how to use social media and stuff. So I had a video gig, $250 video gig, basically 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is when I got dropped off. And so by the time I got dropped off, and Casper hit me up, he's like, "Hey, man, I'm actually free." And I was like, dude, I was so gassed. I was sitting there like, man, this whole time since I started streaming, I've taken 2 days off. And I think one of them, I was just like sick as a dog. And then it was this past one. But as Casper's noted, I mean, frick, dude, I drove to Memphis and back on a Saturday for work, came back, showered. I think I might have taken a little cat nap, ate me a little something, and then streamed till whenever. So, like, I
Yeah,
consider myself dedicated,
yeah.
but yeah,
Nothing
no.
wrong with a week off, man. It's good for everybody to get a little week off. Just make sure we come back.
But
So
I'll be honest with you guys, though. I mean, me and Casper has been talking about. I've came this close to just saying, dude, we're just gonna record the lives, and then we're just gonna or not record the lives, but just record the podcast and just release it. Nothing against TikTok or anything like that, but trying to make this work. I thought about doing Fridays, but then I'm like, dude, I've done Saturdays this whole time.
dude,
But
if we do that though, like football season's still gonna be live though, right?
yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah,
football
yeah,
season's going to be live, but dude, when it
yeah,
slows down, I'm like, I almost look at it like,
yeah. Like
heck,
through the summer.
yeah, like, I like basketball and I like baseball and stuff, but it's like, whew,
Yeah, I mean, we can do a whole NASCAR episode, and you can be the co-host, and I'll
I'll throw on the
guide
mullet
us
wig and
through. But
just,
yeah, just talk about Marty Truex and kickbacks and Bush lattes.
raise hell and praise Dale. So
Yeah,
is uh, anybody else on here still drinking Bud Light? That's another thing that happened that we didn't even talk about. But
Yeah, I
you know,
thought we were just trying to stay away from political issues, so I hadn't said nothing.
yeah, I mean, my biggest thing with that is just like I just don't get it, man. Like as far as like some of these brands, like I understand you want to like change your target market and stuff, but sheesh, like let's ease into it a little bit or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, well, I mean, I've switched to Miller a while ago, so that's good. You know, I'm
yeah,
drinking
like before
tonight.
all that happened, huh?
I got a real special drink tonight that I wanted to mention because it's kind of rare. Sun Drop.
Sun drop, just straight sun drop.
No, it's my favorite.
Ah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty delicious.
this was
Uh,
my combo tonight.
so I recommend it to everybody. Oh yeah, typical.
Old Smoky and Mountain Dew, baby.
The Sun Drop is something special. You know, I've missed Sun Drop for a while. So
You rekindled your
yeah,
flame.
yeah.
I've never drunk a Bud Light, and I never will. I used to rock. I used to
I
rock
have
me some.
had a Bud Light, and I've never enjoyed a Bud Light, and I never will again as
I
well.
used to drink Bud Light Platies pretty consistently,
Of
and then
course you did. Ooh, it got blue over here.
Bud Light
What's up?
Lime. I told you is my if I'm going to the beach drink.
Yeah, I'm a. I mean, I drink pretty much anything other than a Bud Light.
You alcoholic, you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Casper is going to have to depart here in about 6 minutes. I'd say that's probably when I'm going to wrap it up as well. Anything that you guys want us to? We'll do a little Q&A or anything y'all want us to cover. Casper, anything you got?
I've been drinking Ultra since. Dude, that's drinking Bud Light. Ultra counts as Bud Light. It's this company. This company is called Anheuser-Busch. There's a lot of things we have to sacrifice. Nick Ultra is one of them. Bush Light is one of
I
them.
mean, truly though, if you
I
want to
mean,
do a full on, but
Corona.
Anheuser Busch, if you want to do a full on Anheuser Busch boycott, I mean, it's gonna get rough. Like,
Corona, Modelo. I mean, it's tough if you really dig into everything that's Anheuser-Busch if you want to do it, but
yeah, I mean,
um,
Anheuser Busch is.
it's it's a big deal. So,
Yeah.
I'm a Miller guy these days, and that's good. I will say this because I'm trying to be full disclosure. I have purchased one case of an Anheuser-Busch product since this whole thing happened. I was going to Bristol Dirt on Easter Sunday, and I just couldn't go to Bristol without a Busch Light, so I did buy one 12-pack of Busch Light cans for Bristol
So
Dirt.
here is the Anheuser Busch brand, ladies and gentlemen: Budweiser, Bud Light, Kona Brewing Co., whatever the heck that is. Casper probably knows. Michelob Ultra, Stella Artois, I don't know.
Stella Artois.
Artois.
Yeah, I'm fancy.
Estrella Jalisco, I don't know. Bush, Natty Light, Land
Yep.
Shark, Presidente, Hogarden. Get you a little sip of Hogarden.
Oh, I love a good Hogarden.
And then Shock Top.
Yep.
Now
Shock Top's nasty
they're
anyways.
craft. They've got a bunch of craft partners. I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
go
that's
there.
what
I don't know.
the craft partners is just the ones they distribute. So, yeah.
Michelob Ultra is on there though.
Yep,
That
it
is,
is. But hey,
but yeah.
listen.
If you do a
Hater
true
Volcan says he's gonna stick with what he's been doing. I'm good with that. Like you do you. This is America. You were free to do
I
whatever you
think
would
what
like.
really upset, and again, we don't normally go political, but it's the off season. So, but like, I think what upset the most people about that is not that Dylan is like, trans or whatever. I think it's just he puts himself out there as like he acts like it's almost like he identifies as like a middle school girl or something. And
He
I think,
identifies as a 17-year-old female who it's not legal to sell beer to.
yeah, and that's
Yes.
kind of
Yes.
that's my thing. Like, I've got a 3-year-old daughter. Like, my thing is like, dude, I don't care if you want to claim to be a walrus or whatever. I don't care. Like, you do you. As long as it's not on my lawn, I don't care. But like, that's kind of my thing. Is I'm like, are you trying to market this to
Yeah.
15-year-olds and like get a, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I got a brother that's 20. I mean, we could market it with him, and that wouldn't be legal. What's the
Yeah.
difference? So
So it's kind of like almost like it's like they try to take a loophole or so. I think that's why a lot of people are because like most people that I know, me and Casper know the same amount of people that y'all do, I'm sure. But like I know a lot of good old boys and old fashioned, whatever type dudes. Most of the guys that I know, they're just like, oh, they're just not going to buy the can. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a NASCAR driver that they don't like or whatever, they're just not going to purchase the can. But I think that's really the root of a lot of this stuff, man. I think it was just, I don't know. I mean, that's basically my 2 cents on it. But
yeah, I'm all about that. Do your own thing on your own time.
want
But
to be a girl or whatever, do it. Don't shove that down everybody's throats. Nobody wants to see it, Hated Vols fan says.
I
Yeah, I
do
think,
love shoving a long neck down my throat from time to time.
oh, kinky.
Oh wow!
As a
Sorry,
Lions
getting on
fan,
myself.
I don't I don't know if I support that or don't. I don't know. I know nothing about it other than they really like pizza and their water's terrible. That's all I know so far.
Detroit,
Yeah,
yeah, and they make some cars that suck.
they make some
Well, no,
cool.
they don't really make cars anymore. All the cars are made in Mexico now. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, here's the
Well,
thing about being a Lions fan. Like, the thing that does suck, and we didn't talk about this when we talked about it, but we're not going to get any Lions games other than Thanksgiving Day. Like, we're not
not
going to get
without
to
paying
watch
some
Hendon.
money. Not
I
without
mean,
paying some money. I mean, I don't know. I might figure something out, but
yeah,
even if I got to stand on top of the roof with some antennas or something, I don't know. But
yeah.
well, it is about that time. You said you got
Yes,
to bounce
sir.
by
It is about
10:30,
that
so
time. I gotta go play daddy.
to your kid
Yes,
or
yes, yes. Well, oh, maybe. Uh, but yeah.
okay. So
But listen, thanks for having me back on here. I miss being on the show. I'm glad we made up from our fight about what did we fight about again?
I don't even country ham and
Yeah, that's it. Country
uh
ham. You know.
I don't even remember. Normally, the stuff that we have like strong disagreements are stuff that nobody else cares about.
Yeah,
Usually,
yeah, yeah. But
um,
other than that, I
like
should
for
do the
instance,
favorite thing. But
Casper's anti-deviled eggs. I love them. There's a few other ones. I
I
love The
saw a video
Office.
for deep fried deviled eggs today.
Oh, I gotta add that to the list. But yes, you are welcome anytime. Um, yeah. I mean, so again, I didn't put Casper in a basement or anything anywhere. He's been here the whole time. Uh, Hated Ball fan says he missed you. Go eat you some of that thick
Yeah.
sliced country ham.
No, see, here's the thing. I got to wrap this up on that. So I personally, country ham in my house is thin. It is not thick. If it's thick, it's usually sugar cured ham. It's usually garbage. Country fried ham is made on Sundays for biscuits, and you eat it with eggs and on a biscuit. That's how
I
it's
will
supposed
be
to be.
grilling mine Sunday. I'll try to remember to take some pictures for y'all, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So, if you guys if you missed any part of this and you want to go back and listen to it, just check out the Little Tangerine Show on anywhere that podcasts are listened to. Also, check out www.bigdrewski.com. I'm going to have some shirts, coming here soon that say red shirted, which is a long time inside joke, Deviled Egg Squad, all that fun stuff. Appreciate Casper for being back. And yeah, if you hadn't already, click like, click subscribe, baby. Until next time, we are out. Casper, say goodbye to the people, buddy.
I miss y'all.
I
Y'all
just
have a good week.
realized you're wearing a Brave shirt, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 We'll talk
All
about
right.
that next time. Next weekend. We can talk about
Yep.
baseball.
Hit up the email on www.bigdrewski.com. Ask us questions. We'll answer them. If you're not on live or whatever, that'll give us something to cover or whatever. But
Yeah.
till next time, baby, we are out.